What up, what up, what up? It's your girl T.U.O. coming back with another reality check. All right, let's check these reality shows, okay? Let's start off with Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? Because I love my girl Stacey. Now, as I've mentioned before, I've had some issues. I've had some uh, outcries about the allegations being accused of Stacey Rush. Rush. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but anyways, um, they dislike her for no reason. Me personally, from my point of view, it seems like the ladies that really have issues with her is who's just really holding on to it is Giselle, Ashley, and Kay for the most part. I think Kay is trying to be inclusive with the Mean Girls group. If you guys ever seen Mean Girls, she's trying to be inclusive. And so she's just feeding off their bandwagon. Um, I believe that these ladies have an issue with Stacy because she looks better than them, and she didn't have to do any of the things that they've done to their bodies. Okay, I wasn't in a doctor's room with them, so I can't say for sure that they've done some type of um what's the word I'm looking for? Some type of nip and tuck, right? Some rejuvenation and stuff like that. But from what it looks like is that Stacy is naturally beautiful. She naturally looks like herself. They've been showing videos of her when she was on I forgot what you those home buyer things, not home buyers, but selling products. I forgot what they the television I'm losing my train of thought. I forgot what the network is called. But anyways, they're mad that she is established and that she's not living off her husband per se. Even when she was going through the divorce, they was sitting up there encouraging her to take him for everything he has, and she was like, "I really don't need that." She was like, "I really don't need it. I just need him to make sure he stays in our daughter's life. That's really all I want. I don't even want alimony. I don't want anything," which tells us that she has her own money, okay? Then they come back and then they start accusing Stacy of having a case with TJ. Now, I've looked up the case, okay? I've went searching on the internet to see if there's a case against Stacy, excuse me. I have these braces, so I can't really talk perfect. I already have trouble with speech, and so the braces are making it worse. But anyways, I went searching on the internet to see if um there's has been a case filed against Stacy, and I haven't found anything. So basically, these ladies are willing to go off of hearsay about nothing. Like, we haven't seen any receipts of Stacy sending him money for being on the show. We haven't seen any exchange of discussion of her saying, "Hey, so I need you to come on the show and make sure you pretend to be my boyfriend or kiss me. Make sure you show some affection for me," like giving him some type of direction of how to be on the show. We haven't seen any of that. And since they haven't been able to solidify that Stacy paid TJ, they are now moving without apology, without acknowledging. They're acting like real news reporters, okay, in these streets. Like, they make it hyped up. They hype up the fact that, oh, you did this, you did that. And then once it comes out that it's not true, they just quietly move on to the next thing. So now they've moved on to Stacey is dating Chris. What's his name? I forgot his last name. What's his name? Let me see. It's Chris Samuels. I have to look up his wife's name. Sorry. But anyways, they now saying that Stacey is dating Chris Samuels. And Stacey said, we've hung out, but we have not dated. And I agree that there is being misperceptions of the situation, because hold on one second. Oh, they should get along. And Chris would be a perfect match for Stacey. But anyways, just because, okay, because I'm like really jumping in my head. So now they're saying that Stacey is dating Christopher Samuels, and she said, we were just hanging out. She said, we've never slept together. That's just my homie, from what I heard in the conversation. I think there was something in the discussion between Stacey and someone else. I think it was Wendy or somebody. I forgot who she was sitting there with, but it was off camera, but on camera. She said, yes, we've hung out. I think she said something like that. We went out to eat or something like that. And I was like, oh girl, hold on now. Like, it's not looking good for you. So then so Cookie tells Kiki, or Kay, excuse me, whatever they call this girl. She tells her that after Monique came on the show, which I'm pretty sure I went over this already, but I'm just going through the rumors that has been against Stacey since the show has started, with nothing to back it up. That's what I'm basically doing right now. And so I apologize if I'm repeating some of the information that you are already aware of and it seems pointless to you, but I just want to go through it chronologically, the bullshit that they giving y'all. So so then Cookie tells Kay that after Monique came into the group and start, saying her point, I won't say complaining, but saying her point of view of how their relationship deteriorated and her issues in the marriage and her feelings about Chris, that Stacey went back and told Chris. And Stacey sitting there dumbfounded, like, what are you talking about? I didn't call Chris. I don't even talk to Chris like that. What are you talking about? And there's two things, and I know that I'm gonna forget one, so forgive me. The one that's at the forefront is, okay, the dinner. Monique and dinner. Okay. So it's Cookie comes over and somebody calls Chris. I think it was Stacey, if I'm not mistaken, or Monique. I mean, somebody called Chris. And they asked him directly, did Stacey come back? Well, I think I skipped over. It was accused that Stacey went back and told Chris. I think I forgot to say that. And Stacey sitting there dumbfounded. Okay, maybe I did. And then they called Chris, and Chris says, I don't know what y'all talking about. Leave me out that BS, basically. Okay. And so even you guys calling Chris to confirm information is still notifying him that y'all talking about him. Like, are you guys like, I don't want to trash you guys that call names online, but it's like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all can't put two and two together. You guys are the streets that's talking to him and telling him that Monique is talking about him, because you're bringing the information back to him. But he basically says, no, that's how the ladies took it. It's no. I don't feel like he gave a actual answer of yes and no. I feel like he said just, hey, I don't know what you guys talking about, whatever, just leave me alone with it. That's what I remember. And so they still were not satisfied. They were like, Stacey did it, Stacey did it, Stacey did it. And Stacey's like overwhelmed. She's like, I ain't got time to be defending myself about no BS. Like, this is ridiculous. And you guys are being nothing but mean to me, speaking for as Stacey. You guys are being nothing but mean to me for no reason. And I'm just being genuine with you guys. Which would you guys feel I'm doing, I'm really not doing, and you have no evidence to corroborate it. Now, Stacey ain't gonna say it like that, but I'm gonna say it like that. And so she leaves the party. They have dinner with Monique. I'm remembering. They have dinner with Monique. And Stacey shows text messages between her and Chris. And what I thought was funny and telling is that Monique never said, well, look at here, look at you talking about you trying to come over tonight, you trying to go out to eat. I didn't hear Monique say none of that. I didn't hear Monique say that he was even speaking in an inappropriate manner. You know, I think he was just complimenting her and say, hey, you look very nice on the cover of whatever magazine that Stacey was on. I think he was just having regular discussion between himself and Stacey. And Stacey said, I don't even reply. Whether she deleted or not, it doesn't matter. The fact is that they're not having any intercourse. They're not dating on a regular. They're not meeting up, hooking up, or anything like that. I personally believe that would have been a better choice than TJ to bring back on the show. I think Chris could have came back on the show. Now, would Monique have a problem? Probably, maybe not. She said she healed, so she shouldn't care who he dating, which I believe that's what she said. He's a single man now. Why do I care who he's dating? I think the only issue that Monique has is if you are actually dating him, why are you lying about it? And so you're setting off our relationship on a bad foot by lying to me. And now I can understand that wholeheartedly. I can understand that wholeheartedly because I don't like it when people lie to me, especially about some BS that's not even that serious. Like, girl, I don't care if that's what you want to do you, boo? Maybe, you know, I healed him for you. Thank me. Give me a wedding present on your wedding day. You feel me? But they still not satisfied at the dinner that Stacey said what or not. Even though Monique has already said she don't even believe anything that Cookie says. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. They're not going to be satisfied. Then, since they can't find her guilty on the whole Chris Samuels thing, they move to the whole her opening her own dispensary. Right? And no. I will point out one thing that Stacey did get caught in a lie about is when her husband came to the swimming practice with his daughter, and Tia met him and invited him to dinner the next day, and they basically tried to make an excuse to get out of it. I mean, this is not unusual, and I hope people are not online. I have not been watching people's review on anything, so this is my opinion only. I hope people are not surprised or feel some type of way that she lied about going to dinner with her husband, because she ain't got to. Okay, that's one. If they want to lie, be like, yeah, well, I think I'm gonna be sick tomorrow. You know, you just some bull crap. You know, if they want to say anything, that's called politely rejecting or politely not refusing, but not accepting. It's politely not accepting the invitation. That's what it is. And if anybody's surprised about that, has issues. And then it's like you guys want people to be like tell you everything, what it is, when it is, how it is. And that ain't obligated to nobody. I ain't gotta tell my boss that I'm doing such and such on this day when I'm off. Or I'm taking POT. I'm taking POT to go do this, to go do that. I'm taking my POT, and here's the time frame that I'm taking it for. When they put for what reason, POT is POT. It's called personal time. Okay, it ain't none of your business. If I'm gonna take off work, for what reason, I'll be sick that day. I ain't gonna tell. Nobody owes anybody an explanation. I don't owe anybody an explanation about anything I'm doing. Nor does Stacy and her husband. So when she got caught in that lie, and I will say, well, girl, you got caught in that lie because you said, hey, Timu, Timi, whatever his name is. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Stacy. But he gonna be out of town tomorrow until next week. She said, I think for a week. That's what she said, but she didn't say for sure for a week. She just said, I think, right? And so we could say she didn't say for sure that it would be a week. And then she said he got back in town, so we can't make it. He came back in town today. So how do you fly out and come back in a day? He didn't offer any information. That's the thing. And then on top of that, Stacy said, I'm just not ready for the girls, even Wendy, to meet my husband because why? We all know that they be grilling these men. They be sitting up there questioning them and all types of stuff. Look at moving forward, right? Look at how. Is there anything else about this situation? I don't think so for sure. I know I was going to say something else. She got caught in a lie. Then they moved it to the whole dispensary thing, right? And now that they're saying she copies Eddie. That's cool. She copied Eddie, but she still has the right to have her own business. It's nothing wrong about these things that she's doing. You guys are making a problem. The fact that she's saying, okay, I decided to do it. Like, what do you want her to say? I copied you. Is that what you guys want to hear? I copied you. You guys are childish if you do. But now, since they can't find anything on I was gonna say Wendy, Stacy, they've now moved their punching bag to Angel. I gotta remember. I gotta look up her name because I don't remember her name. I like to say people's name. I tried to say Stacy's name, but I can't remember. Okay. Angel Macy or Massey, right? Now they moved their punching bag to Angel. They're saying that Angel, because she has to move because there was some type of miscommunication, which was in the text message. It doesn't say anything about non-payment. It doesn't say anything about you failed to pay your bills on time. You caused damage to the property. We don't want you here. It don't say nothing about that. It just says thank you for your service. Thank you for renting with us. And just this is how the process go. The steps that you need to take to vacate the property. It don't say anything about any issues with her being at the property. But Tia tells someone else's business, which I find highly disrespectful. Like, why did you feel the need to carry the bone about somebody else's personal business? Like, this ain't, and they got the nerve to say girls, woman code. That's the new word for one, girl code. Girls, and all. That's not girls behavior. You don't go telling my personal business, especially something that could be deemed as salacious towards me or that makes me look bad, that highlights me in a bad light. You don't do those things. So I don't really take too much from them when they say girls. I said only when it's your business that you want it to apply to you. You feel me? So when Tia tells Giselle and her no, hold on a second. Cool. A message came up, but Tia tells Giselle with her no storyline, having stuff, nothing to do but tell somebody else's business and try to call out other women about what's going on in their storyline, having ass. And Giselle comes up with this whole story. I said, girl, is that how your marriage ended? Because girl, how did a woman tell you that, hey, I was just over Angel's house helping her move because she has to leave, to you saying, damn, she got evicted? Nah, that girl didn't pay her bills. No, she didn't pay her bills. She a low budget. She renting. Nah, she was only here for the show. She wasn't here for us. She was here for the show. She thought the show would be over. No, boo boo, the show ain't over. Like, where did this come from? Who said that? Nobody said that. Nobody came out their mouth and said, hold on. Nobody came out their mouth and said, oh, I can't afford to live here anymore. I'm getting evicted. Like, nobody offered that information up. So why are you saying these things? That's cool. I don't need that though. This message keep popping up. So I just found it humorous that Giselle came up with this whole elaborate story so she can trash Angel, and it don't even add up. And so then what happened? Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. So she came up with this whole little story just so she can trash Angel, and it's kind of crazy to me. It's odd. It's sad too. Like, you ain't got nothing better to talk about besides Angel or whoever else. Like, what's going on in your life, girl? And then I think the end of it was they had a potluck and it was being shady. First thing is Stacy decided to bring her husband. And so watch next week when he sits down. Hopefully he runs straight to the men. But if he don't, of course he gonna introduce himself to everyone. They gonna be questioning him like they the goddamn federal bureau of investigations. That's what they gonna do. Like they're not even CI, not even the CIA be doing all this. What these girls be doing. They be doing research, investigating. Like, that's how Michael got outed. That's how Michael got outed, child. Because they was sitting up there. They was sitting up there doing research on him, and that's how your marriage got dismembered. Ashley. So now you bitter, and now you want to sit up here and out everybody else and amen, except your homegirl Giselle, because she the only one that's helping you get income, girl. Stop. Because let's be real, Ashley ain't got no storyline either. She's sitting up there leading that boy along. She gonna let him go in the fish. She gonna throw him back with the other fishes. Girl, you should have never caught that in the first place. She basically took advantage of this boy. I'm gonna call it like I see it. She took advantage of him she was really a man in that relationship. And now he probably was using her too for camera time, to have his face out there. But the more and more his face was on camera, it was just like, boy, please get off camera. Please get off camera because you don't look that cute. Okay? It ain't really hitting the way y'all thought it was. But yeah. I'm gonna just leave it there. Okay? I don't know what Angel's going to say. I'm going to say this. I don't know what Angel's going to say because they cut it from there. But they look foolish to sit up there and be yelling at Angel about her financial status, her livelihood, her living status. That's crazy. Why are you talking to another woman about what's going on with them? It's hilarious to me. But I'll leave it there. I'm gonna move on because I've been sitting on it for too long. Married to Medicine. I don't really think it was that much, which is why I haven't really did any videos lately because the last couple of weeks ain't been really giving anything. I think the thing that stands out for me, Contessa throws herself a birthday party, okay, and she pays for it. Well, what was said was they have a joint account. So whatever is in that account, she used to pay for her birthday party. Okay. And they also building their own business. Like they're constructing their own business. And so that's been under construction for some time now. And the girls is like, you shouldn't be throwing a party. You should be putting all that money because she said I don't want it to be more than $40,000. Now that took me back. I was like, what's about to be $40,000? $40? I'm gonna squeeze my little fat ass in this. Like every time I hear some money, that comes into my head. But it's like, what's gonna be $40,000 at this party? And then as I looked at the party, I'm trying to remember what was $40,000. I don't remember anything in that party worth $500. Like, what was it? The DJ? Like, no, the DJ don't even charge that much. I'm really trying to remember, like, what was so spectacular that it had to be $40,000. And I get that was the cap, like that was the limit, $40,000. But at the same time, like, what was gonna be more than 10? Like, not even 10, 5. Like, me and Toya is on the same page. Like, what was about to be what? Make it make sense, sweetie, because I don't see it. I'm not seeing it here. So she throw her party. Everybody like, how come Scott didn't put it together? How come he didn't plan it and surprise you and do this and all that? And she said, because he probably wouldn't have did it the way I wanted to. He probably would have did some easygoing, low budget type of party, and I didn't want that. I wanted what I wanted. Now, would I have liked for him to do it? Yes. Do I expect for him to do it? No. And that's the thing that I took away from that whole discussion, that whole section of her situation, of the show, on the show, is that, and I said this before anybody said it, I said, you get what you expect during the beginning stages of your relationship. So if you ain't expecting a lot, if you're not high priority in your own life and expect the same thing in other people's life, they not going to do the same for you, boo-boo. And that's been their whole relationship, that she said, I got it, I'll do it myself. And I believe Scott said that. If it wasn't Scott, it was Contessa who said, when you tell a person I got it so many times, they start to believe that and don't even ask you if you need help. And again, she has a partner, but she does not rely on her partner. What I've seen, I don't have a husband, so what I'm saying is, what I've seen is Some women will intentionally act like they can't do something just so that they can give their husband something to do. That's what they do, so that he can feel like he is useful around your life. And what Contessa has done is put him in a position where she don't need him unless it's something that benefits her, going to school. She used him then, but she needs to start trying to do those things a little small. Can you, I can't open this jar. Contessa, like, I'm an Army vet. I'll open anything. I'll push up you. She like, nigga, I will, I'm gonna leave it there. She needs to really use her husband. Baby, I can't reach this shelf, even if she is taller than Scott. Even if she can get a stool or something, she really needs to use him. Next year, she needs to be like, next year, baby, I want you to throw my party. These are the things that I would like. And can you at least get some of them things? And if he don't get all of them, if he get one of them, at least acknowledge that. It has to start somewhere. But the fact that your relationship has always been you relying on you, that is only your fault. It's nobody else's fault. It's not even Scott's fault. It's your fault, Contessa. So I don't have no sympathy for you. I don't feel sorry for you that Scott didn't throw your party. I don't know why all the girls was mad. Now, the issue that the girls, or one of the girls that had a problem, was the fact that she was sitting up there trashing her birthday party that her husband decided to throw. It wasn't as lavish and expensive as your party was. $40,000 for what? But it was something. That was the whole point. That she was like, and I believe she probably went back and talked to her husband about your situation, because y'all was in the circle talking about it. And she was like, we was over there talking about Contessa and how Scott didn't help her do anything. She had to throw her own party. She was shaking her boobs. She had to throw her own party. Okay. And her husband clocked that information and did something about it. He threw her a party, a dinner. They probably had the real party at home with their real family. This is for camera time. And so the fact that you was clowning that lady and what she had going, it was better than what you got. It was definitely better. Y'all please put in the comments what cost $40,000 at that party, at Contessa's party. Y'all tell me. Don't run now. Don't run scared now. What cost $40,000? Y'all know? I don't. But anyways, so that's one of the things that was highlighted to me on that show. Oh, the other thing was Dr. Simone having a family sit down with the boys and Cecil. And Cecil was not on her side. He was defending the kids. And I felt like, damn, when she said, I'm the only one that has a master's degree. I don't remember. She said something. I'm the only one who is certified at this table to be talking about anything. I was like, God damn. Did you put that man down like that? You put it down. And she was like, so I really don't care about what your daddy talking about. I said you need to budget, and if you ain't gonna budget, then you ain't get nothing. And I feel like Simone is making sense. Like, I don't know why y'all think that you guys could spend $60,000. $60,000 on what? And I'm trying to figure out, is that in a year? That is more than people's paycheck a year. $60,000. What are you spending? Like, a part of me wants to be like, are you buying the ladies at night? Like, what are you doing? And then talking about we got to get rid of your Jeep because you can't keep riding in the same. Boy, you gonna ride this car until you could buy you another car, not me. Like, Simone is working herself to the bone for her kids that are now 20-something years old. Now, I'm all for you can stay in the home for as long as you need, but I am not for providing your livelihood as if you're a child. You're not a child anymore. Please get your stuff together. Like, whatever money you make. And he really tried to guilt trip her, like, oh, well, have you ever heard about families that put their kids through school and they become successful, or whatever the hell he was talking about? And I'm like, have you ever heard of kids getting it out the mud? Shout out to Ali Sadiq, getting it out the mud for themselves and also being successful. Like, please miss me with that. Nobody's gonna coddle you. Like, I've shown you work ethics, and you need to go ahead and utilize that. Get it. Apply yourself. And once I see you applying yourself, then I can be there and support you. But you think that your mom is supposed to do everything for you, which she has already been doing. I I will blame Simone up until this point that she never made her kids take initiative and figure it out on their own while they were minors. You know, if they can't figure something out, they can't fix something, whatever. She didn't say, you got it. Here, let me give you this project to put together. Do it. Figure it out. So it causes them to constantly depend on her. And she put, again, it goes back to that whole Contessa situation. You allowed this relationship to be built like that. You want, oh, the kids don't come to me. I don't really care. Okay. Like, you guys are supposed to be making your kids stronger and reliable upon themselves. And yeah, I feel like Simone kind of failed her kids in that situation. But she got mad, and she came to the party and told the girls, the only person who else don't want to be married in this group besides me, and made everybody look at her and like, no, don't, that's not funny to say. We're not going backwards, are we? And she basically, I saw something online on Instagram where Cecil said, it took me back to hear you say that again. Now, they have a certain lifestyle that they live. So even if Simone decides, let's say she decides to get divorced, do you know that Simone will be paying alimony? Simone will be the one, since she's the breadwinner, she's sitting up there talking all that mess. She will have to pay Cecil for the rest of his life. Like how men say, it's cheaper to keep them. You don't like them, get into separate rooms. Okay? Do what you got to do. Date outside your marriage, whatever you, but I personally, Simone, especially at these big ages that y'all at, you think you over here fitting the bill for your kids. Now you gonna have 3 kids to be fitting the bill for. Girl, it ain't even worth it. Like, somebody need to really sit Simone down and be like, are you sure about that? Because it ain't even gonna be how you think it's gonna be. It ain't the lifestyle that you want to live, to be taking care of another grown man for the rest of your life. You ain't never gonna leave the OBGYN. So let's just knock that off. I don't even feel like you need to talk to Cecil anymore. You said what you said. Let your actions speak for what they are. You ain't gotta keep on hollering and screaming. Like don't make God take your voice, lady. Stop talking. Walk it. Do what you got to do. Okay. Well, we'll see. I wouldn't even be mad no more. I wouldn't be hollering no more. Like, if they talk about, oh, Mom, I need this. I said no. But what about the other kids and da da da? Well, let me know if you need anything else. All right. I'll talk to you later. I'm not about to go back and forth with no grown men about what I said. Oh, well, I'm gonna send you the bill. All right, you can send that bill, but it'll still be your bill. I'm not paying for anything. But I feel sorry for Simone, but I also don't feel sorry for Simone. You know, she needs to figure it out. But I don't think her solution is divorce. That is not your solution, Simone. I don't know why you think that's your out. Because first of all, Cecil ain't sitting up there knocking you around. Okay. I think your situation is dealable. It is definitely dealable. Like, separate. That's all you need to really do. Separate. Don't get a divorce because you'll be paying him. And I don't want to see you, who worked very hard to get her degree, have to pay somebody isn't he a coach or something? And it's nothing against Cecil. Like, I like Cecil. I think he's a great time. I think he throws great parties. He's very entertaining on a television. I don't know how he is as a husband, but I would hate to see this woman have to pay this man all because she is upset about him not agreeing with her about his kids. Like, okay, well, since you feel that way, Dad, if I was Simone, if you feel that way, Dad, you pay it. Okay? And y'all let me know if y'all need anything else. Peace out. I'm out. That's what I would say. I wouldn't be sitting up here arguing about my damn check, my bank account. Like, I'm not doing nothing. All right, well, that's all I got for Married to Medicine. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me think. So they had like a little special or whatever. Now, I didn't do a review last week about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think I forgot to mention them, even though I listed it down. Now, Love and Marriage Huntsville, it was found out that Destiny was dating multiple men that know each other too. And she was like, felt embarrassed. I don't know why she felt embarrassed, because she ain't sleeping with none of them, and just like, oh, well, it is what it is. And then she found out she was vetting Ken's friend. I don't know his name, but she was vetting Ken's friend. And the friend said, he's not looking for anything serious. He just trying to have a good time. He trying to get down with the get down. That's basically what he trying to do. And she was like, so you got 4 kids, how many baby mamas? And I think he said he got a baby by each woman. And so that's 4 baby mamas. And she was like, oh, that's not good. That's not for me. And so I think she made her decision right then and there. You will be a friend forever. And that the other guy, who I forgot his name, but Miss Nelson's, I can't think of his name right now, but Miss Nelson's friend, her godson, he seemed like a more suitable mate because he's very calm. He doesn't really talk that much. He's not gonna spread her business like that. When they were having the discussion on whether he was interested in Destiny, he said, I don't know, I might be. I'm trying to see. But he also, what kind of threw me back was like, I don't really like her like that. I don't know who told her that, but I never said that. Something like that. Or he said something like, it ain't gonna be that serious. Something. It was something. And so, but for me, I think because after the whole business thing, after they finish with their business, and hopefully she don't tell too much of her business, that she will pursue that relationship. I see her more with that guy with the dreads and versus the dude with the 4 baby mamas. I don't think he has any kids. The guy with the dreads. I forgot what they call them. Candy eyes, something like that. Googly eyes. So I think she should pursue that if she's going to date around. Like, I love, because my mother is the same way. They both are Taurus. So I love the fact that they are so secure within themselves that they will date multiple people, and they don't have to sleep with anybody either. They will never allow anyone to pressure them into sleeping with them. They said what they said, and they still gonna date around. And she didn't care. She flaunted multiple, and it is basically like what Beyonce said. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. So if you want this person, then you will pursue this person. But for the most part, it sounded like they were exchanging notes. The guys were exchanging notes about Destiny. I think it was very disrespectful for Ken's friend to be like, so give me the tea on Destiny with some negative traits about her, basically. And he was like, I'm just trying to smash, basically. And the only person who had an issue with that is Miss Nell's son. And he was like, he did not laugh. He was like, oh, that's messed up. And I think, no, it was Martell. Even though Martell, he giggled and everything, but he was like, I don't know what you talk about. Like, that's not my friend. Martell told Destiny, and Destiny checked him. So hopefully that's the end of that situation. I definitely don't want to see Destiny with that dude again. Let me think. Oh, you know what? The last episode, it was about Miss Nell and her family meeting as well. I thought it was unnecessary because the episode before that, we saw Miss Nell hollering and screaming at grown women and then trying to play victim with Chris. Like, I didn't do anything. I don't know why they were doing it. And Chris pisses me off so much that he be like, yeah, I understand. He's so passive. He's been in that marriage long enough to know how Miss Nell is going to operate based off what he says in response. So when they had that meeting at the table with the family, and I don't want to call him Lewis, but I don't know what this boy name is. When her son, when Miss Nell's son said, why is you talking to him like that? Talking to Chris like that? And she had a problem with Chris, I think, defending their son or speaking up against her, or saying that, because it's slowly coming back to me, it's been 2 weeks, saying that I've been told you to stop helping these kids out. I told you need to just cut them off. And she said, oh, so you saying it's my fault? You saying it's my fault? She started hollering and screaming. And matter of fact, okay, let me finish. So she started hollering and screaming, and that's when her son jumped in and was like, he said what he said. Why are you getting mad at him about his opinion? Why are you trying to shut him down? And she got mad and said, why are you trying to speak for Chris? He can speak for himself. And she started banging on the table and making a scene. Now, when I say making a scene, is because her son brought the mother of his child to meet the family, I guess, which is weird. Y'all is weird. Men need to stop creating children without having interactions with the family. It will save you guys the embarrassment, for one, and two, it will save you guys from even making that decision. I won't even call it I won't call it that, right? But it will help guide your decisions on whether you will let your buddies loose inside of another woman and procreate with this woman. If you guys would just introduce your people to your family. If you can't introduce these people to your family before conceiving a child, then that is an issue in your priorities. And then you guys bring these people to your family and they don't get along with your family, and there's fights and stuff breaking out, you know. But the girl came, and to me, I felt like Miss Nell is trying to sabotage their relationship. She was like, that's how you gonna leave mama hanging? And she was like, I can call you mama. And then Miss Nell was like, no, not right now. Like, girl, you the one that said that, not me. Okay. I would have been like, oh, I ain't got time for these games. And then she told the girl that Destiny came to her house and that her son went outside and had a full-blown conversation with Destiny about what. Okay. And so the girl came to the table and confronted this guy and was like, so I heard you was talking to Destiny. He was like, and didn't give no good explanation that wouldn't satisfy a deer looking at headlights. Okay. And so he said, I didn't have a conversation with her. I was just out there for about 10 minutes. That's the whole conversation, sir. It shouldn't last more than what's up, goodbye. But if they're still cool, but he said, I'm still cool with Destiny. She's still my friend. I'm not going to stop talking to her. I can respect him about that. He said what it is. And I think he also said, like, I still have feelings for her. Something like that. Something around those lines. To be honest, girlfriend. And then he said, me and you are just friends, basically. He didn't say those words, but he said they're not exclusive. They're just trying to figure things out. And when y'all be in them stages of figuring things out, I can't never be in them stages. I have been, but I just can't. I can't function, especially when you're exchanging fluids. I just can't be in them stages. And so you guys are trying to figure out if you guys are going to be exclusive while exchanging fluids. It kind of confuses situations for a person to be like, so you out there talking to Destiny? If you're not exchanging fluids, you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm glad that they've been able to mend their friendship. You wouldn't take it so personal, right? Don't take it personal. Baby, don't take it personal. So you wouldn't take it so personal, which is why, he basically said, me and you are not even that serious. We just trying to figure things out. And I still got feelings for Destiny. She's still my friend, and they ain't gonna never stop. Made her look foolish at the table. Okay. And everybody turned to her after Miss Nell went off on Chris, cussing everybody out, saying, F y'all get on my nerve, get the F out of my house, and all this stuff. Everybody turned to her and said, welcome to the family. I hope you like it here. Embarrassing. Oh, Jesus. Imagine that's the person that you got to deal with for 18 years if she lasts that long. Oh, Jesus. Last but not least, Southern Charm, Charleston. I'm still wondering why they ain't brought New Orleans back. I think it's because that dude tried to yeet himself on that motorcycle. But Southern Charm, I think they came back with Craig and Austin arguing. I just want to get to the nitty gritty. I'm not going to spend that much time on this. So basically, Craig has interest in both Charlie and Sally, but Sally is like being very possessive with Craig, saying that she doesn't want anybody else talking to him or trying to flirt with him. Charlie is giving mixed signals to the audience because she said, I don't even like Craig, to, well, I like him, to, well, I'm flirting with him, but it's just flirting, or whatever it is. She's like constantly moving. And me personally, I keep saying, when you bring things to people's attention that you don't like, most of the time, they're going to be like, they're going to do it more. So the fact that Sally brought it to her attention that she was flirting with Craig, it made her do it even more. And so, I think they did a showing, art showing, and so Charlie brought some of the portraits to his house, and they were having conversations, lighthearted conversations, but still flirting, and you can see the chemistry and everything. What bothers me in this situation between these three is that Sally is really acting like she's not attractive. Excuse me, that she's not attractive, like she can't find a man or something. She's acting like he's the only guy in the world and that she has to have him. It seemed like she's desperate for Craig. Like, Craig's not even all that. He has alcoholism. Like, what are we talking about here? He's a mess. You can do better, Sally. Like, as pretty as you are, you can do much better than Craig. So I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for Vanita as well, because I didn't forget this man's name. Rolio. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. He is one of my favorite cast members, and they need to show him a bit more, even though I'm pretty sure, his okay. Anyway, he told Vanita that Sally's not your friend. If it came down to it, between you and Craig, she's picking Craig. Now, she continues to show her position in Vanita's life by continuously bringing Craig around her, even though Vanita has said, I feel uncomfortable being around Craig because of how he mistreats me, how he addresses me, how he dismisses me. I don't want to be around that man. And she continued, oh, yeah, I forgot you guys have beef. Oh, well, basically what was said. And then proceeds to flirt with him and say, I'm going to spend time with him in a hot tub and I want to hook up. And Vanita tells her, like, do you want to be with Craig? No. To then say yes. And her friend, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, boo. But for her friend to turn to her and be like, he don't even say it. She's like, you were right. You're right. And he was like, I know. I know. The other thing I had an issue with when it comes to Vanita is that I know Vanita is a uh fashionable decor, interior decor, or whatever they call those people that decorate stuff. Um but they keep putting her to work. And I'm just wondering, is she getting paid? She basically puts that whole party together for Sally. She puts that whole party together for the new guy. I can't remember his name. Whitney or not Whitney, Whitley. Um and it just don't, it makes her look like a house worker to me. And I don't like it. Now, I understand it could be promoting her as a business or someone who does some type of uh decorating work, right? I forgot what you call those type of people, but not designer. I can't remember it right now, but um I just don't like her having to decorate or put things together for other people because it doesn't really show her in a pleasant light to me, and that's just me, a viewer. Um, I think Vanita needs to get rid of Sally out of her circle, or just be keep it to a minimum. I don't think that her relationship will survive, and I find it funny and humorous that once Craig showed that he was not interested in Sally, that she started to move closer to Vanita. And I feel like if you don't realize that you're being played, Vanita, then you have a problem with your esteem. You have a problem with your boundaries. You have a problem with how people treat you in your own life. I don't know why, but you need to definitely work that out. And you need to keep her at 10 feet. Like, it's so okay if you want to be her friend, cool, but you definitely don't need to her. Like, if she decides to invite Craig somewhere, let her invite Craig. Let her invite Craig, and you don't show up in her life. If she asks you to do something, you need to know the list. So your decor and all that stuff. No, I'm not doing it. Or charge her double. That's how you work things out. Because she's showing herself to not be your friend. You need to show yourself to be a businesswoman, to set boundaries for people in your life. Like, it's just not. It's real uncomfortable for me to watch you go through that. Um, I'm trying to think. Was there anything else? Not that I can think of right now. I know I just watched it. I can't really think of it. But Craig and Austin's relationship is getting exhausting. Like, they fight and then they make up, and then they fight and then they make up. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Austin, he doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore. He tried it out to see if he can sustain having a partner, but then he starts seeing his single friends having a good time and dating, flirting with other girls. I found it disrespectful that he was, and I think that was the person who said, I like her. I think she's beautiful, to his own girlfriend. I find it disrespectful that he admitted that he was interested in Sally. And it's always a triangle. If you ever notice, trauma bonding and triangle relationships, those things are very common in the world. If it's not about business, it's also, a form of relationship. And so what's his name? Austin likes Sally. Sally likes Craig. Craig likes Charlie. So always a triangle, boo boo. And it's just like, why don't y'all just like who you like? And Sally said it. She said, as soon as Austin becomes single, I'm jumping his bone. So she has shown that. And but just know that's all you're gonna be is a bone. Anyways, I can't think of anything else. I know that uh um what's her name? Starts with an M. Um she was talking about uh her baby. Madison? Yeah. She was talking about her baby. Um I don't remember anything else. But anyways, if you guys come up with anything, if you guys remember anything, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back with another reality check. Bye.